Deep inside the steel belly of a massive modern cargo ship, a severe fire breaks out in hold number 2. To save the vessel, the master makes a drastic emergency decision: flood the hold. Millions of gallons of seawater drown the flames, intentionally destroying a 5 crore rupee shipment of rice to keep the ship from burning to the waterline. When the ship finally limps into a safe port, a strange financial paradox emerges. The ship survives. The remaining cargo is perfectly intact. Yet one specific owner just suffered a catastrophic total loss, purely so everyone else could stay afloat. If a captain hesitated to act out of fear of a massive lawsuit, the entire vessel would be lost. Maritime law grants the master the absolute authority to make these emergency sacrifices without the threat of personal ruin or litigation. To lock in this legal protection, the shipowner immediately issues a formal declaration known as general average. By shifting the financial burden away from the single unlucky victim and turning it into a shared collective responsibility, the law guarantees that a crew will prioritize physical survival over agonizing about the final bill. Once safely docked, an independent investigator, called an average adjuster, boards the vessel. They act as a neutral referee, tasked with untangling the mess and architecting the financial recovery. Their immediate priority is securing the paper trail. They have to verify the exact commercial value of the ship, the freight, and every single entity involved in the voyage. They collect commercial documents and bills of lading, the historical legal receipts of maritime trade, to prove ownership and establish what the cargo was worth before the disaster hit. Operational records are scrutinized just as closely. The ship's logbook provides a rigid chronological timeline, legally proving that the master's emergency action was absolutely necessary to save the voyage. Crucially, standard voyage losses like regular wear and tear or accidental damage are ignored here. The ledger only recognizes intentional sacrifices, governed by an international framework called the York-Antwerp Rules. Under these rules, allowable claims include throwing cargo overboard, repairing firefighting damage, or absorbing the sudden fees of seeking a port of refuge. It even scales up to massive external interventions, multi-million-dollar salvage operations to pull a hull off a reef, or even pirate ransom payments under certain contracts qualify as shared expenses. Enforcing this strict framework prevents owners from slipping unrelated damages into the communal pot, protecting the integrity of the collective rescue. With the evidence verified, the adjuster shifts to pure mathematics, defining the contributory values of everything that made it out of the fire. Look at this chart representing the preserved wealth. If the surviving ship is valued at 80 crore rupees and the untouched cargo is worth 200 crore, the total baseline of the surviving venture is 280 crore. Now we reintroduce the allowable loss, our 5 crore rupee sacrifice of ruined rice. This is the deficit that must be absorbed by the surviving assets. The cost of the ruined rice is mathematically divided among the shipowner and the remaining cargo owners. Everyone pays strictly based on the proportion of wealth they saved. To enforce this collection, port authorities lock down the surviving cargo. Before any goods can be unloaded and sold, the owners or their insurers must sign a binding general average guarantee promising to pay their exact calculated share. Tying a company's financial contribution directly to their proportional survival forces fierce global competitors into a temporary, mathematically perfect alliance. The adjuster then completes the final administrative action, pooling all of these proportional shares into a single recovery fund. The collected money is paid out to the owner of the destroyed rice. Their financial blow is absorbed by the group, fully restoring their position. We started with a catastrophic flood deep in a cargo hold. We end with the victim made whole and the surviving cargo seamlessly entering the global market. This incident is one link in a centuries-old chain of maritime commerce, relying on rules governing the docks since the days of wooden hulls. The protocol permanently removes hesitation from crisis management. When disaster strikes, captains act to save the ship, confident the ledger will be balanced later. Economically, it ensures that a random twist of fate at sea does not instantly bankrupt a single business on land. The true legacy of General Average is its function as a system of mandatory human cooperation, acting as the foundation that makes the high-risk endeavor of international maritime trade possible.